Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to learn how to improve our portraiting skills, and specifically, we're going to learn how to draw Willem Dafoe, because frankly, it's quite easy if you apply the steps that I'm about to explain to you guys. So, why do I have Meme Man in front of me here? It's because I find myself too many times trying to draw someone, and my drawing doesn't really look like the subject that I have in front of me. What I end up drawing is sort of a bland head with some hair on top of it, or without if the person is bald. But nonetheless, there is no resemblance with my subject, and I end up drawing somewhat of a meme man, as you can see here. And the goal of today's session is to stop drawing this guy and actually go about draw our subject. One important thing that we have to keep in mind is that everyone has face features for which they are well known. These are the features that allow us to recognize them in any picture. And also the hard part when drawing someone is not actually executing the portrait itself. It's more about spotting these features on the subject and applying them to our drawing. So if you want to get better at drawing portraits, you have to look at other portraits drawn by artists. And I would go one step further and say that you have to look at caricatures more than portraits. Why is that? What's the actual goal of a caricature? It's about exaggerating certain traits and do it in a funny way. What are those traits which are being exaggerated? Those are actually the same ones that we want to spot. So those are the traits that define the person. And by exaggerating them, the only thing that we're doing is basically making the connection between the drawing and the subject. I would say the ultimate goal for our drawings is to nestle somewhere in between the realistic style and the caricature style. What I mean by this is we need to spot the features of the person and exaggerate them strong enough so that they bear resemblance with our subject, but they should be light enough so that we don't go overboard into caricature style, so that we still reside somewhere in the realistic style, more or less. So I'd say this is enough theory talk, and let's go into some practice and analyze the face of our subject today, which is Willem Dafoe. So this is a well-known photo, I'm sure you recognize it. The first thing that jumps at me when analyzing his face are his eyes. If you look closely, the eyes actually don't sit on the same line. If I draw the line in between the corner of each eye into another one, you can see that the lines are not parallel. So his eyes are turned inwards towards the center of the face, basically. Speaking of the eyes, we have to acknowledge that he has quite big eyelids around the eyes, which is something that you can immediately recognize just by showing you the eyes of Willem Dafoe. And another aspect of his eyes is that he has quite a lot of wrinkles towards the corner of the eye. The second feature that I would like us to focus on is his nose. In comparison with the rest of his face, the nose is quite small and quite thin, actually. So you can see the nose isn't very strong in comparison to his eyes or his mouth, for instance. And he has a bit of a crooked nose, and it goes on to be quite pointy towards the end. The third feature which I see is the strong jawline. So as you can see, it starts from just under here and it goes all the way down to here. If you look at the line or the space between the lower lip and the bottom of his jawline, he has quite a lot of space in there, which allows him to sell such a strong jaw. And if you look, the jaw itself has a strong line actually in here in the corner, which helps him sell this manly jaw. Next up, we have his cheekbones, which are quite raised. If you look closely, they are just next to the eyes. So this is an important feature not to forget when drawing his face. Coming right up is his big mouth. So if you look at other photos of Willem Dafoe, especially when he's smiling, you can see that he has quite a wide and big mouth. In this photo in particular, he's smiling towards the side, so basically his mouth is pushed into this direction, which makes it a bit squashed, so we don't have the full size of the mouth, but nonetheless, he has a powerful and a big mouth with some quite thick lips. As you can see, the size of the lips themselves is quite big, actually. Last but not the least is his big forehead, which is pretty simple to grasp. As you can see, even the horizontal and vertical sides are quite big, so we cannot forget this when drawing him. I would say this is the list of the defining features, let's say. So if you incorporate them into your drawing, it should be enough to make a resemblance with the photo of Willem Dafoe. But even if we make some small mistakes on the rest of the features, we have the base set, which would help us make the connection with the photo of Willem Dafoe. What I would like us to do next is to look at how I drew him and switch to the commentary from the speed painting. You're going to see me here block out the general shape of the head first. Right now I'm not focusing on getting out as many details as possible. I'm trying to get correct the placement and the size of each feature in respect to the other features and to the rest of the face, basically. Right now I'm using very loose and white brushes because I want to focus on the painting rather than worry about making some mistakes. So in a nutshell, if you're using very narrow and precise brushes, that means you're trying to get out the details as precise as possible, which is the opposite of what I'm trying to do right now. And basically I want to have a base that I can work with so that I can put the details on top of the base that I have already. Right now, you can see me taking a break from the painting and then coming back to it with a fresh eye and then doing back and forths between the subject and the painting and trying to analyze where the biggest differences are. As you saw, I tweaked the size of the mouth and the size of the nose, and right now I'm focusing on the eyes. As we talked previously, it's important to get out some of the most important features of the eyes, which is the internal rotation, also the eyelids, which are quite big and protruding. So we need to get those features first because the eyes are the first points that a spectator looks at if there is a head in the painting. The process of going back and forth between your painting and the subject is very important because it makes sure that you're not straying away from the reality and that you're implementing actually what you're looking at. Right now I'm switching from tweaking the shapes themselves to more tweaking the values because they were done in an isolated manner, and right now I'm trying to make everything work in an ensemble way so that all the face makes sense and is lit up properly. As you saw, I tweaked the size of the head and the width of the neck so that I can get the similarity with the head of Willem Dafoe. That's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do an analysis on another celebrity, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!